Alright, let's test this. Sorry what I said. Don't worry about it, bro. You're all good. You're not the first one to rage. Alright, hold up, give me a sec. I haven't played today. And my controller's broken. But I kinda wanna play a little bit before I start VOD reviewing. Oh, my leg. You guys seen this? Give me a sec. Not sure why it's lagging so bad. Chill, bro. I'm getting like 10 frames, so give me a sec here. This is like terrible. Woo. I think it's because my OBS is on. Ugh. Give me just a moment, guys. I gotta fix my frames. Alright. Give me one moment here. Yo, David, what's up? Give me just a sec. My, Oh god, no! Give me a sec. I'm not ready for this. Okay, fine. Oh, so laggy. Stop it! You're being rude. I'm not ready for this. Do it. Shoot one more time. Woo! Alright, now, give me a moment. Please. I have to... Ugh. Oh, this is bad. Give me a sec, guys. I'll check chat later. Yeah. It's the whole dude. Is it like a few guys or no? I want to minimize my OBS because my OBS is making me lag on my second screen. If I have it off, I'll be fine. Alright, are you done? Cool. Give me a sec here. I'm sorry I'm not reading chat yet. Give me a sec. I'll read chat in a sec. My first YouTube stream. This is nuts. How you guys doing? That was my first game of the day, but I'm going to be VOD reviewing someone. Seriously, Rocket, you're chilling. Don't worry. Yo, what's up, Lena? How you doing? John? Zion, what's up? Thank you all for stopping by. For my first ever YouTube stream. I've never done that before, so we'll see how it goes. I have to... I mean, I will mainly be VOD reviewing anyways, so it's not a huge deal. If I don't have good... what's it called? Oh, actually might be better a lot now. Better a lot by now. But then I can't access my OBS, which is also annoying. I just turned off my screen, but that's not working. I'm sorry about this, guys. I'm a total... I have not streamed in forever, and things have changed. Oh, I think I found it. Give me a sec. Nope, never mind. I did not find it. I want to... Is it not possible? Davs, are you in here? David. Let me know if you're in here, bro. Please. Because this is terrible. Thank you for sticking by me, guys. I'm a total streaming noob on YouTube. I've streamed on Twitch before. Back in the day, I streamed a lot on Twitch actually, but never on YouTube. So, how's the audio? I feel like the music might be a little bit loud. Not sure though what it's like for you guys. I don't want to have it too loud. Sometimes I'm not the loudest talker, you know, so I want to make sure you can actually hear me. Here's what we'll do. Give me just a sec. I'm going to get my guy in here. Do this. Sorry, I can't see anything right now. It's just because I'm on my Discord. I don't want you guys to see. I'll get like different screens and stuff if I like the stream, because then I'll actually switch it to a stream. Sorry, a screen where, you know, you just can't see my Discord. Although my Discord's also bugging out, so. Alright, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix this and then I'm going to invite my guy. We're going to be VOD reviewing someone who got, I believe, around 812th. Can you add me? Sure, go ahead. I cannot guarantee that we'll ever play though, but I'm thinking of doing maybe squads of viewers at some point. I think that'd be fun. Yo, what's up, Donovan? How you doing? Alright, opening up my Discord. I'm sorry the screen is black, guys. It'll be back to something in a sec here. Just one moment. I'm not sure what YouTube's policy is about music, by the way. Maybe I shouldn't have music on. Might be copyrighted, I'm not sure. I'm just gonna turn it off. As I said, I've never streamed on YouTube before, so... Hey, what's up?
What did you stream? Where did you stream?
I used to stream on Twitch, but I wanted to stream on YouTube for once to see what it's like.
Oh, okay.
Alright. You ready to do some reviewing?
Yeah, your mic is kind of off. Like you're like...
Oh, is it better now? Is it fixed?
It's like a little bit laggy. Like
Is it better now or no?
No.
Still not? Okay. Is it fixed? Are we good? Still laggy?
Yeah, it's like what's it called? Like if there's a mobile next to a microphone, I think. It sounds like it, but I don't think it is the problem. I don't know if you hear it on stream. Maybe you can hear it there.
I'm not sure. Give me just a sec. I'll check. Sure. Give me just a sec. I'll check. I believe on stream it sounds fine. Yo, what's up, Hype Toy? Give me. I'm not sure then. But it sounds weird for you.
It sounds weird for me, but it's not that big of a problem.
What about now? It's better?
Yeah, now it's good. Now it's good.
Oh, okay, there we go. That's my bad. Yeah, let's get into the games. I have your thing right here. As I said, I already checked out your first game a little bit. And I already noticed some things, I think. And I'd like to talk about it because you might have different views on it than myself.
Yeah, of course.
I'll can you watch it on stream maybe? Because otherwise I'm gonna have to screen share. Okay, perfect. What place did you get? 800 something, right?
160 points. I don't know which place.
Okay, 160. There we are. 818th. Okay. So by the way, for people watching, a little bit background. Divinities is crazy nuts, and well, he qualified for semifinals, and then we kind of struggled there. So we're gonna kind of check it out to make sure that we can reach finals next time. So let's see. Right, first game. I'm curious to see the other games as well. I haven't seen those yet. Yeah, what's up, Shark? So you're landing in a fairly, I wouldn't say like shambles spot, but it's definitely not a highly contested area, right? You're kind of having a loot route.
Yeah.
At least for this one. Oh, alright. A little bit laggy. My day's been really good, man. Hung out with my girlfriend basically all day. And then had dinner at my mother's house, so that was cool. Alright. Yeah. Alright, a little bit of replay lag, but it'll fix itself. So the first part, actually, it might be a little bit interesting because I want to see where you're looking. Alright. So, you see no one lands there. That's good. Yeah, replay is definitely laggy right now. Okay, there we go. Seems chilled.
It was like changing something.
I think what we're going to do, by the way, is we're going to first watch kind of the full thing, and then we'll kind of rewind back to important parts. And see what happens. It's farming up a little bit. So your loot's already not that bad. I mean, obviously your shotgun isn't great, and you don't have that many heals or mobility, but at least you have everything, you know? You have everything a little bit, so you're not missing anything massive. Actually, we're just gonna speed it up, otherwise it's gonna take forever. Didn't want anybody else to pick those up. The splashes.
Nice. I saw this guy had a hunting rifle, so I wasn't peeking him for some second.
Yeah. Just not worth it. Alright. So, were you planning to loot that house?
No.
Okay. But before he showed up, I mean? I imagine he wasn't there?
Yeah, then I would probably go and look.
Okay. Right. This is first zone, by the way. So you're over here. Alright, so you're actually doing decent on loot. Obviously, it's not the best, but you can't really expect that much more from a kind of the drop that you have, right? I'm just gonna speed it
There
up.
was farming somebody, so I got full on it. Then I heard him steps.
Trying to get some surge tags. Oh. So you're kind of rotating towards center, right?
I think I booked up over there.
Wait a second, I just want to check something. Little thing.
I was quite confused. Why is he like? I was looking why he's bounce putting, but I didn't see the guy who shot him. So I was just.
Alright. I believe you kind of chill here for a while, so it might not be too interesting to watch. So far, I think I've noticed mainly one big thing that might have changed kind of where you'd set up, but we'll see.
I was kind of confused by this guy because you like there's nobody around me and he just boxed up next to me and doing nothing. So,
Yeah, people will sometimes do that to kind of block line of sight. So he's kind of using you as cover sometimes, or maybe hoping that you have mobility or something. But yeah, it kind of depends. People have different processes. You kind of box up on edge here, kind of high up. Yeah, what's up, Rabbit? How you doing, man? Alright, let's see. Kind of boss fight him here. Nice shot. Pressure pads away. That guy also crash pads away. Oof. Good reaction time. Nice. I don't think we're gonna do this for every game, by the way. I just want to do it with this one. Have a clear start. Personally, I'd say it's just a little thing, but I just want to say in between, and we'll start with like the more big things later. But especially because you don't have a lot of mobility, you might want to spend more time sitting in your cone as the circle pops up, so you kind of have more information about what's going on around you. Because you seem to be looking for kind of opportunities to get kills, which is also fine in most situations. But in this case, I definitely would focus rotate a bit more. So right now, for example, you're kind of looking back to see if there's anything you can hold or stuff like that.
yeah.
It's like it's not even a big thing, but it's just a little thing. Because you're basically, there's a lot of time being spent right now not focusing on how to rotate this. And it might be because you already had in your mind I'm going to use the crash pads, but that's a different problem. Because you probably didn't need to use crash pads here. Rip.
I thought I can go the. And then I just. And I just waited and moved behind the other guy there.
Yeah. super big.
You know, it's like kind of going back because you can just crush that into me. So I'm more safe when I put my big.
It's definitely good to think about. It's definitely good about what you're saying to like think about how they could crash in on you to make sure that doesn't happen. Something a lot of people are doing as well is just sitting in your cone at all times. Works really well. I'm not sure if crash pads will be in the next season, of course, but
I hope they're not in, to be honest.
same man. There's a lot of things I hope there's not next season.
Like, this is, it's got like a full game. Like, okay.
Okay. Game's almost over.
There I was just waiting for someone to build for me, so I can just rotate behind him.
Yeah, this is a clean rotate. This is good. That's really nice. Again, I would just literally spend way more time sitting in your cone, like a lot more. Because you spend a lot of time kind of in your box, and I've seen it in your cone a little bit, but it's really, it's definitely just by far the best thing you can do because you can just, you know, you can't get crash pad in on, and you can just look around all the time. So it's like a little thing you can implement like today.
Yeah.
But the more important things I'll get to once this is over. Now you to get into your cone, basically. I still get into your cone though, just for the crash pads. Find a pad. Nice. Do you remember thinking about why you landed here, not somewhere else?
I think I just wanted to get into zone on edge. It was probably not the smartest idea because I'm not that good on low ground. Just
Okay. Good try. And now this is where it gets rough. Alright. Let's go over the kind of points that I had already kind of thought out. I think something you need to think about is especially in these really stacked games, which is not really a thing in opens, is that time is like one of the most valuable things because of just being able to rotate early and stuff like that in the early and mid game. So just being efficient about that. So for example, I noticed that you around here a little bit later, you're basically farming kind of metal, and you're kind of hanging around at that one building, that house near kind of like mini authority. I kind of want to get to it. It's loading a little bit slow, but yeah, this building. So you spend a lot of time in this building farming metal mainly, and kind of looking around for extra loot maybe. Main problem is that like basically none of this metal, it's taking a very long time, which is basically forcing you to stay here, which in this case isn't very bad yet because you're fairly close to center, but mostly second circle isn't going to pull towards the center of the map. It's unlikely. Usually pulls more towards this half, kind of towards the edge of the island, which is more likely. So moving in further would be nice if you had more metal. But this is basically a consequence of not farming metal earlier and like more efficient metal. So I'd say probably here, or just at your spawn. Is this at your spawn? Yeah. I probably would have farmed more metal here and
I
farm.
forgot to farm the of the gas station.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. So the top of the gas station has pretty decent metal. It's still not the best, but it's better than what you're gonna find in that house, especially because it's just continuous. You know, you don't have to walk around a building trying to find metal things that aren't even going to give you that much metal. Just because that's going to buy you a lot more time. You would have probably saved at least 45 seconds or something, and you would have been exactly the same state, except you would have had 45 seconds extra to rotate and to maybe keep moving. Because I think obviously when you're landing here, you're not guaranteed that much mobility and stuff. But the benefit is that you're not fighting off spawn, and you are fairly a center map, right? So you can rotate early. So that's it's really important to think about the benefit of your drop. So that in this case would be that. But in this case you're not really using that benefit that much. Like you're rotating decently early, but it's not as early as would be best. This is also like a tiny thing where you could have maybe recognized that, you know, that might give you heals.
So when you use this water, just focus on farming mets and just rotate early?
Yeah, so if you're planning on changing your drop, which we might look into later, then you have to think about it differently. But if you're landing somewhere center map that doesn't have that much loot, the only benefit you have really is that you can rotate really early. Like that's which is not, by the way, that's not to downplay that benefit, because it's a really big one. It can actually help you a lot. But you definitely have to, you know, apply it. So you have to use the benefit. So yeah, farm the top of that metal. Do you remember if you did that in the other games?
Yeah, I think at the end I did it. I don't know if I did it every game.
Okay.
I did it.
Okay, good. So you definitely picked up on that mid-tourney already? Because then you would have not spent as much time in this building right here, right? And then you could have probably tried to keep moving a little bit, because obviously a lot of people are going to be rotating in here. All right. Next thing. Probably would have used less mats, by the way, as well, trying to rotate, because you would have rotated earlier, there's less people and stuff, so you can just keep moving. And you could have spent more time looking for surge as well. So in general, it's just, there's so many benefits of looting more efficiently. It's like one of the most underestimated things that pro players do.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, so here, as you can see, lots of people are kind of rotating around you now. They rotated past you, and now they're going to be kind of holding you and stuff. But imagine you could have been in front of those guys.
Yeah.
Alright. Because now you're almost kind of forced to box up where you boxed up. A little bit too close to edge. When you could have probably been more towards center already. Maybe even at this bridge or something.
Yeah, I thought about the bridge, but I think it was like going high. On the edge on the mountain, I think it was nice, but...
I agree with it to some point. I feel like in trios this would have been a far better spot, just because you have more mats as a trio. But as in solos, in these stat games, like you kind of need, you don't need a power position on second circle as much. So just focusing that you rotate early and get to a spot where you won't have to rotate as far next circle, that's probably going to be more valuable. Especially because you only have 3 crash pads, so every rotate you can get early and you don't have to, every rotate you can get to center circle, that's going to be highly beneficial. I mean, imagine if you had 2 pads and 6 crash pads, it wouldn't be as important to get to center. Oh, I didn't even notice that. I like that. Did you use the ammo of your second AR?
Yeah.
That's nice. Alright, let's see.
I don't know, the matchmaking from dreamhack was kind of shit as well. Like, I just got into match with Lecce, with Steelix every time, with Janisset. Like, I don't know, they were 100 points above me and still got matched.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But I mean, you're cracked. You can beat him.
The last game I got killed from Steelix.
Yeah, it just sucks because now you're having to like kind of rotate with all these guys. It's going to make it really congested up above, like towards edge. Alright, next thing. Let's see. One moment. Played with you before and we had a 18 kill win. Do you have any suggestions on keeping focused and getting into flow state? I recommend meditating, man. Seriously. For focusing and flow state, that's what you should do. Watch my newest video. I definitely looked at that was nice. For someone else to use this crash pad. But there's probably no need to break the crash pad, you know? You probably could, because you might be able to use it. It's kind of muscle memory, like I could break it. Alright. For the next part, I want to do something else. So imagine you were sitting in your cone. Oh, by the way, yeah. So imagine this guy was probably sitting in his cone, right?
Yeah, no.
So try to get down on you a little bit. Well,
I think if he wouldn't have jumped, he would have like gotten a shot on me.
Yeah. My guess is if he would have cracked you, he would have tried to get in.
Yeah.
Or something. But you had a good reaction time. So imagine you're in a cone. Actually, I want to turn off nameplates so you can actually see. Otherwise, it's kind of, I should say, like unfair. Where's the settings? Give me a sec. There we go. Off. Because then you have a better view of like what it actually would look like in game. Right, you'd be here. So now zone pops up. And kind of the rotate most people would go for just if they see this zone and they have no other information, they would just kind of hug this edge, right? And they would just kind of like that. That's kind of the go-to move. And I believe, yeah, you use crash pads for this one, right?
I tried to, yes.
Yeah, the third one kind of messed up, but oh, man. 1 second here. Why'd you use your crash pads on this zone? Do you remember?
I can just like crash it over the tree. Like the first bounce one just bounced back. I think I just could go front. I didn't know like how many enemies are in front of me because the trees like kind of blocked my vision.
Okay, so you kind of wanted to just be sure you got in?
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, it makes sense to some point. Because, I mean, as I said earlier, like the rotating earlier would have definitely prevented that from happening. And it's always kind of a risk reward versus like not using the mobility that you have. Yeah. So, like, if you would have walked by foot. In this case, I do think you could have walked by foot, but it was also first game, so you're probably just wanting to make sure you actually, you didn't want to take any risks, so it makes sense. Here. Oh, I gotta slow down.
I was kind of hoping for jumper as well because I moved so late.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think on this zone, people tend to still rotate on foot. Like this guy, look how much metal this guy spent just to, get in. It's kind of crazy, but people don't really want to use mobility yet on this one. I'm gonna turn nameplates back on. I think it would have been nice for you to kind of spend more time looking around and then seeing what routes would be good, because you didn't really take in enough information, I think, because just knowing for the fact, like, for example, that probably would have been really easy to just, oh, that's my bad, to rotate, actually click battle map, to rotate, following this guy's metal earlier, but instead you're kind of looking at that guy. But if you just looked at the right too, there's no one here that's going to hold you. And when you look at the left, if you walk out here, there's multiple people that would hold you. Even this guy right here that's next to you could shotgun you or something. So just spending a little bit more of your focus on your rotate would be definitely... And I just... Yeah, exactly, shotguns you. When I say more focus on your rotate, I don't mean... how should I say this? It makes it sound kind of like easy. It's like, oh yeah, you should spend more of your focus on rotate. But I mean, literally pay more attention, like look around more for it.
Yeah.
That's what
Do
I
you
mean.
think it's smart to waste more meds than on mobility?
No, I'd say
Because at one point I can just like try to get a refresh and like maybe have some meds.
yeah, I agree with that. But I think on fourth zone, there's a lot of people rotating on foot. So there's also a lot of builds you can actually use to you don't need to use that many mats. Like obviously when you're at like first moving zone, you're going to use your mobility over mats because you want to keep your mats for later. But at this point, if you use like just 200 wood or something, if you can be smart about your rotate, if you pay attention where is a good, like, I mean, take this one for example. We'll go back a little bit. You kind of see what I mean. I don't think you would have had to use mats very much to get in. Like literally just some wood would have probably been enough. Let's see. Okay, hold up. All right. So because most people are already rotating, and you could probably, if you would have like spend time in here paying attention to who's rotating, because your main threat honestly is this guy right here, right? The guy that like opened up on you. I'm actually gonna open up nameplates again. But so if you just pay all your attention on him to see when he moves, then you can just rotate on right side and just stay high a little bit, and then look around to see where you can kind of block line of sight. So what I mean is right here, hold up, put all this on. If you would have focused on, I'm gonna play it back a little more because he left. So right, you're still here. If you would be in your cone, you could listen for this guy. I kind of want to pull it back to see when he left, so you can actually hear or see. Because I highly doubt there's no way for that there's no way to tell when he left. I'm guessing he left really early actually. Get a cone, popping it big. Someone pops up. Because you'll see that like lots of people are building kind of down there. So right now, he's in his con. And you're kind of spending time not in your con to look around. There you go. So now that guy's already left on your right. Obviously you can still hear someone like around you and stuff. But like right now, for example, I'm not sure how valuable it is to look behind you right. If those guys are fighting, that's just good for you because that means you can rotate without them looking at you because they're focused on each other. Okay. So right now you're trying to look for a kill when you could spend this time rotating. Just going to the right side. Especially because you have good heals still too. You have 2 big pots and 6 minis. And generally people aren't going to psycho you. If they get good tags, like that's good for them. But if you like if they'll shoot you and then you'll build and then you pop your shields, you'll be fine. And in this case, it's a pretty, I won't say a free rotate because it's pretty congested around here. But if you just rotate here, stay up here, you would probably use like 100 wood. And then you could have hid behind, oh my god, this is terrible. You could have hid behind here, just blocking off your top and using these builds to get behind. And you can box up in between too. You don't need to do the full rotate in one go. Right? You can start moving and then stop and then keep moving, stop. Alright. I'm curious to see this guy right here. He's used 2 builds so far. He stops. 3 builds. Found extra loot, or kind of. It's also kind of rotating interestingly. No, he's using the stair top. This guy right here has used 0 mobility and he's used like 5 builds. One of the final things is actually right here. On first moving, especially because you have no mobility, you definitely should be landing up high just to reuse other people's mobility. Right here. When you pad, I mean. So if you look here, so you still have 330 mats, which is like not a lot, but it's not terrible. You can still land decently high, and then use someone else's mobility later. So right here, it's probably a good idea to land kind of on these builds, or even to land on someone else that's gonna build right in front of you. So right here. Although I feel like this isn't high enough. You want to be landing seriously high up.
Yeah.
You want to high up and then pop your meds. Look for refreshes, obviously, but also look for other people's mobility you can use. Because there's so many people using crash pads. There's almost always something.
Yeah.
So imagine you would have landed kind of on this brick. You would have extended here. You would have basically been boxed here, right?
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't be getting shot up as much. You would have tarped in a little bit. You could have used maybe that crash pad, although that one's a little bit low. It's a little bit laggy. That crash pad. With that pad. You could have literally used this pad right here, because you would have been in here. But that's just the thing about first moving zone mainly. First moving zone, people are still using lots of mobility. If you land up high, you can look down and use stuff that other people are throwing down. When you land low, the only reason you could land low is there if you feel like you need a refresh that badly and you want to fight. But first moving zone, people generally don't fight as much. There's some people using mobility and stuff that I would just sit there, wait for mobility, and use it, and then look for a refresh on the second one, on second moving. Because now you kind of get buried as well. And you did. Because people are still pretty healthy in this zone, right? Like almost everyone has like full health, full shield. It's still pretty good. So the longer you stay alive, the more shambles people are going to be, and it's going to be easier to kill them as well. Alright, but I think that's mainly covers it. I think the most important things though would be first moving zone, don't land low. Unless, there's very certain circumstances that you'd want to do that, but generally land high so you can use other people's mobility. And the rotating efficiently, so farming the mass that you can farm that have the most value, so you can spend more time rotating and less time farming.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool. I have you added, do you mind after you stream doing a quick duo? We could maybe do some squads. Alright, let's see. I have to constantly go back. Alright, so I haven't seen your other games yet, so I'm curious. You died a lot mid-game, right?
Yeah. But I got W kid like an idiot as well. There was one kid that was like throwing my whole round. He was just W kicking me without any info, any reason.
That sucks.
I think it's fun. Like this or before.
Do you remember me from Pro Guides? I'm not at the moment, but I might if you tell me about your session and stuff. I might remember. Alright, let's see. Did you land the same spot every game? Okay.
I think I tried to at the end I tried a different spot, but then I switched back.
Were you ever contested?
I think one time is.
Okay.
You landed on the gas station, got minis, AR, and built on one. I think it's this round. But I got WP back in Egypt.
Oh really? You helped me with peeking in pro guys? Or could have? Okay. I have an I think I know who you might be, Corey, but I'm not sure because I've helped multiple people with peeking. This time you did farm it.
There's one grease my whole fucking game.
Oh yeah, this guy is a psycho. What the hell?
Yeah.
What? How did that start? He just ran at you.
Yeah.
Maybe he was feeling confident, but you know, it's still really dumb.
Like he got third bodied at the end and still continued.
Oh, he didn't even hit. Well, he hit you once. Corey, I'm so glad it helped a lot, man. Really. Sorry I don't remember you at the moment. Pistols are annoying to fight when you're playing defensively. They reload so fast. I said you definitely need to try to apply pressure back.
I was hoping for him to disengage or waiting.
Okay. Maybe he died of Storm Surge last game and he's pissed about it. Oh, there we go. You got third partied.
Like there I was thinking about to disengage, but then I just thought they're both gonna probably spray me then.
That's true. Yeah, this is annoying. It kind of ties into what I was talking about earlier about where it can seriously mess up your game if you... Oh, nice shot. Did you just snipe him? Good shit. Where it can be really bad if you waste time. And this is basically... This guy's wasting your time, and he's wasting his own time. Because this could be time...
Nothing from it,
no.
There's nothing really happening on just item. I think you have 1 HP or something.
Okay. I think it's still important though. Let's see. It sucks. It sucks. Alright, so yeah, this guy definitely pushed kind of stupidly, but at the end of the day, that's going to happen, and you're going to have to try to figure out how to deal with it. Personally, I think what you could have done maybe for next time is to kind of I've actually talked about this with some other pro players where if you don't, this is kind of something a lot of people do wrong, that they get into pro level games kind of newly, like they're new to pro level games, and they expect everyone to be smart, they expect everyone to be passive, or at least if it doesn't happen, they're kind of like, oh crap. But the main problem with it is that you play really that you're playing really passive in a way that you're not showing your teeth, and you really need to shoot back at them. You need to deal damage, basically, because people will still disengage if you deal damage. In fact, you're not giving him a reason to in his mind, you're not giving him a reason to disengage because you haven't done anything to him, which obviously I agree, like it's not that smart.
Scared.
Exactly, you're playing a little bit too scared. And in this guy's mind, maybe he's thinking, oh, this guy landed at a fairly shambles spot. My guess is he's going to be bad. I'm just going to push him real quick, or at least get some surge, whatever. That might, because that's definitely something people think about sometimes in semifinals. They think everyone's kind of scared. If I just fight him confidently, I'll win. So whatever you do, show your teeth. Like being able to fight back, deal damage, and then to retreat again. That's a really important attribute you can have as a player. To be able to show up, say, hey, screw you, don't fight with me, I'll fight back, I'll fuck you up. Like that's basically it. And then he's more likely to disengage as well. I mean, imagine it this way. Have you ever fought someone and you disengaged even though you started the fight?
Yeah.
Isn't it usually when you take damage, not when you don't take damage? It's usually after you take damage. Sometimes...
Yeah, or when I just need to rotate far into zone or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. In this case, though, you're in circle. This guy feels you have time to fight.
Yeah.
Just for next time, show your teeth. That's basically it. And I don't mean to fight him full on per se.
Yeah.
It just get some good shots off. That's the most important thing. But because this will happen. This is not the first time it's gonna happen, or this is not the last time it's gonna happen. So probably wasn't the first time either. Let's see. I hate that it kicks me out. I'd like to just stay in the leaderboard. What were your thoughts on the games?
Like this one or the one before?
Both. Or just about the whole
For a
tournament,
second,
basically.
I was just too scared. I just should have like been more aggressive on him. Like
Because
he's
then
just boxing up, running away all the time.
I know you're a nuts open player. Like you can fight people well. Like you know how to fight. I've seen it. Like and then in these games you're like,
I don't know. I think I was just thinking they're all very, very good players, and I underestimated myself.
yeah, don't worry. Next time, fight him a little bit. Alright, so this one, 27th, 1 kill.
I think in some games I did it, and then I just like they were living with 1 HP or anything.
Oh, really?
Where like 100 take them and then 22 and they survive with 15 HP or anything. It happened to me, I think, twice.
Sucks. No, I'm not playing a game right now. Maybe later. Kind of depends on how long this will go on. Let's see.
Zeg ik dat was.
Let's see. Oh, so yeah, you definitely picked up on farming the roof, so. I might play games later. We'll see. Might play some squads with Furious. Although streaming was making my game, lag hardcore earlier. This is a really good zone for you. Nice. So we're doing pretty decent on loot. More heals would be nice though. Was that a guy or a henchman?
No, it was a guy. A laser.
You beamed him. I was about to say that was crazy. That was nuts.
I was thinking to go loot the outer circuit from agency,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, then I saw this guy. I was kind of confused. I was like in my mind I saw somebody, but they were somebody.
This is lucky. If only you knew. Could have fought him. He was playing at like 140 ping. Alright, I'm stuck in your...
There was just chilling.
Yeah.
Another pro player. Yeah, the amount of heals kind of worrying a little bit. Yeah, there was loot like in the river, but I didn't saw the guy behind the tree, and then I just tried to drop down, get the loot, but then I need to disengage. This guy was, I don't know what he was doing. He needed to rotate as well, but he was just trying to shoot me.
The lag. Was that by accident?
Yeah, it was by accident.
Sucks. This guy's probably thinking about Surge, trying to get Surge tags. Even though this game isn't crazy stacked, so probably don't need that much. Hold up. Sorry, keep coming back. I think something that you should do more of in general. Quite often you kind of just go into a straight line to center.
Yeah.
What you can start doing a little bit more is thinking about choke points around the map, so places where people are most likely to kind of come together or get held. Because for example, this is a pretty well-known choke point, right here, because of all the mountains around it. So it might even be a better idea to avoid it altogether and just go right. That's why, I mean, that's probably also why no one is inside, like, around those areas. Or to go left next time. So earlier, even when you were still kind of deciding how to rotate, instead of trying to go directly, to think ahead and think, okay, this is probably a better route to take. Even though it might be, 20 seconds longer, you can probably keep moving instead of having to stop somewhere.
Okay.
Let's go back to gameplay. Thanks, Victor, bro. Appreciate it. Alright. But I mean, it's not a terrible spot. You're fairly close to center. You used a decent amount of mats to get here, though. Used a lot of your wood. And some brick, I believe.
Yep.
Imagine these guys grief you.
Yeah, I was like a bit scared to be honest. But if you don't open up, they do nothing. So.
Back on edge. Yeah, this sounds kind of weird though, because of all the mountains. Oh, over. Because yeah, you're here. Alright, so I like that you're in your cone now. Trying to pay a bit more attention to your surroundings and stuff.
What was I doing there?
You're just looking around. Oof. I do not know who buys the kit, sorry. Where'd you go? Oh, there you go. Where? I'm blind. Where'd you go?
I was just going in front.
Oh, there you are. My bad. Just the name tag wasn't showing up. That dude just got beamed. Well, let me see. When you were you looking through your con?
Thinking about that matter didn't work.
Oh right, yeah, that's okay. I was going to worry too much about that. It's more about the decision of using a crash pad. So right, alright, you are looking through your con. This guy got beamed.
Like, I don't know, I think I would just forget that I just can walk sometimes.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it might also be kind of nerves or something of like decently stat games. Do you practice many stat games?
No. I was like focusing more on arena. Yeah, I was last season. I was pretty bad at it.
Okay, I think it might be because I think you've proven yourself in opens that you can actually do pretty well. I think next up you have to practice more stacked games as well, so you kind of learn to see those rotates. Because right now you tend to use mobility pretty fast.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you would be in your cone, like looking around as well, which you did a little bit, but I think you were mainly using your cone to kind of see where you would land if you crash pad and instead of looking at rotates.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if you're in your cone, you see this guy get beamed. That's usually a really good sign that people are going to be looking at him and not at you if you start moving. So this could be a perfect time, especially because you see this guy on your right, push him. Like, this is a perfect time to just start moving. Because Those guys on the hill are looking at this one-shot guy. That guy was a big threat too, and now he's gone. He's fighting him. And no one over here is going to be looking at you because you're higher up than them. So those guys are looking at that guy, and those guys below aren't looking at you. The only people that can maybe look at you are these guys, but, you know, you'll be able to react if they do. You'll be fine. So in general, just try to pay attention to those cues. Like, if something of really high interest happens to other people, that's a really nice moment to start moving yourself. So if someone gets beamed, if there's, you know, a lot of loot somewhere that people are going for, that usually means people are going to start shooting at it. Those are all prime times to start moving, you know?
Yeah.
But you do get into those, so let's see what keeps happening. Alright, so here we are. It's a little bit laggy. Did you pick up more crash beds, or is it just bugged?
I think it's bugged.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Probably bugged.
Oof. Heck. That's nice.
Hey, I don't have that much AR boots just for this.
Yeah. I think in general, just because I know your fighting skills, you might want to contest a more, like a better drop. But we'll wait for next season to kind of see what spots might be good. And I know you don't like to fight early game, but I'll help you. There's ways to. I really like that checkpoint tip you gave. Checkpoint tip? The one where, you mean like where you kind of, you rotate and then you stop for a sec? Or?
What?
Okay. No, sorry, I was just talking to stream. You're dead. Oh, sad. Alright, let's see. So again, I would like for you to be in your cone, kind of look for rotates and stuff. When you get into your cone as well, it makes it a little bit less obvious that you exist. So the more you edit your walls and stuff, the more likely it is someone's going to try to take shots at you, either for surge or just because they want to, just going to want to get some damage or try to get a kill. So definitely sit in your cone. Do you know how to, I mean, I assume you just know how to jump into your cone, right? So just do that for now on. Every time instead of editing your walls. I mean, you can edit your walls sometimes, but get into your cone. The one where you avoid the highly populated area. Like that boat place. But I thought, ooh. Oh, right. Nice. Sorry, just want to see it one more time. Hey, Nico the bot was in this game? That's funny. I played a lot of scrims against him.
Okay.
But you know. Are you like a coach review party or something? Coach. So let's see. So this. Yeah, that's good. There you go. Your crash pad updated, so now it says too.
Like I wanted to go one more up.
Mm-hmm.
But,
it's okay. Yeah, definitely. Lag sucks. So again, get into your cone. And basically, anytime you're in your box, the first thing you should do is get in your cone. Almost always. Unless obviously the cone isn't built yet, but once the cone is fully built, there you go. Now you get in. That's good. Yeah. Douche. He just wants to make sure that he doesn't get shot. Alright, eat it. Oh god, I didn't mean to do that. So he's kind of the same thing as with that last game. Try to land higher. Or not the last game, but you know what I mean, the first one. So you could probably attach that metal there. So I want to check something. When you do that... Alright, yeah. So right there to that metal would have probably been a decent idea. Especially because, you know, if all else fails, you could crash pad again off of there. And this would probably be a better position to look for kills as well, because you're higher up. So imagine you'd be... You'd be right on this metal, right? Kind of. You're higher up, you have more vision. You're less likely to get W keyed, you're less likely to get focus yourself. You can reuse other people's stuff. Oh.
I think I just like used to just go far as possible.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. There's definitely a reason to do that, but it's just, especially in stacked games. Like I think that again, that's kind of more of an open. Maybe in opens that'd be better, but in stacked games, because there's so many people using mobility and there's so many people to shoot at. It's just a better idea to land high on first moving.
Like the key maybe in opens. Like,
yeah, we'll give me a sec. Yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on that. So definitely just remember, first moving especially, land higher and then see what happens, because I'm sure it'll be better. Oh, I hate this lag. Six builds. They have like no builds. No shot. Still no builds. Good tunnel. Still a rough spot though. So this will be the time that you probably just land into someone else's box.
Yeah, I was searching someone, but I just.
Well, that's annoying. Yep. So basically, I think we've discussed the most important things. I am curious. I feel like you run out of mats quicker than most people. I'm not really sure why it happens. Oh, I remember. I think it's because you use a lot of mats to get up on that mountain.
Yeah.
Instead of rotating to the left, which we've already talked about as well, if you remember. Here.
Fucking my ass.
Say again?
Okay.
What was that? Oh, let's see. Yeah, on this, I think you built all of these. That didn't help. It's okay though. Check the next game. But I think the funny thing when watching you can see that what you've practiced you do well, and what you haven't practiced you still need to learn. Like that's the funny thing, because you've practiced fighting, you've practiced arena, opens, you've done really well in opens as well. And the thing is, with these stat games, you just have to learn to play a little different, and then you can do really well in these too, because you have, you have the mechanics and you have the mind for it. Gotta learn it. Do you feel like the other games were kind of like these as well, or did different things happen?
I think I was just too passive. I had 3 kills overall, so.
Yeah, which is crazy because like you're quite an aggressive player, but when it comes to these semifinals, you kind of
I just tried to play passive, but I was just too passive, and I didn't find the perfect spot to play passive.
Yeah, curious about this game still. The top 4. Shark, I'll give you some tips later. After this. Alright. Switch skins. Let's go.
Yeah.
Alright. 4 peppers, 3 crash pads. That's actually pretty good. You just need heals.
I don't know why I didn't find the fucking gas station there.
Yeah. It's definitely something.
I think I came back there.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I'm not sure.
Oh, that's annoying. I've got lots of different kinds of heals. Did you pop the big pot? So, okay. Personally, I think it would have been a better idea to take either the splash or the big pot with you and just pop the peppers or something. Just because in these stat games, if you don't have enough heals, you're generally dead.
Yeah.
So, because there's so many people alive. In this case, though, there's not that many people. So in this case, it might have been the best play, but watch out with it, because if you don't have enough heals, usually, even if you have good mobility, you just end up having no shields, and then you try to use your mobility, and then you just die. So it's usually kind of depressing. But this game isn't as stacked, so it might work out.
Probably probably the reason why I plays better, because it was like more like opens.
With people alive.
It was just chilling again.
Max mats for chilies. Of course, Flix. Go ahead. Alright, so you're a really good spot now. This is awesome. Hey, AR kind of sucks. I think it would be worth dropping somewhere else next season. I think you could... Maybe for opens, this is a good spot, because you're maybe doing good for it. But I think either that or we need to figure out a loot path which involves more loot or something. But because I think this... Almost every game, you're fairly shambles on something. You're almost never good on everything.
Most likely the AR bullets, which is missing. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty decent AR aim.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I like to go for them sprays or something. I want to spray my bullets when I change my bullets.
Keep going. This is actually so good.
I was hoping to get the big building so I can replace that brick, but then I just...
Yeah, you're in a really good position right now when it comes to basically everything except heals.
Yeah, there was one guy trying to WK me like this. After that. How big as a pie job was it? And I just decided to quickly move into myself.
Because you're... Wait, where are you? Which one are you? Oh.
Like on the island.
Right.
Like, I needed to go up, I just wanted to show it low, but then I just needed to go up because there was one guy trying to WK me. It was like WKing the whole lobby.
I don't know. I mean, it's good that you have the peppers and stuff for this spot. Because like in case zone goes up the mountain or something, it wouldn't be too bad. I like that you changed that edit. Because Alright, so let's see where zone goes. Alright, that's not bad. It's basically where you came from.
I just went into my old builds where I just need to disengage from.
Yeah. It might have honestly been worth to use one crash pad instead of going through your old builds. I'm not sure about it yet, but I usually notice that if you are on low ground, half NF out, you'd rather be higher up on this one as well, just like the first moving. But you know, it's not a necessity, because in this case, the nice thing is that if in case zone pulls towards you, for example, you've got all those builds. Plus you didn't have to use as many mats, although you probably, if you just crash pad it once and then just box on one of these builds, you would probably use the same amount of mats, because it's just 1 or 2 boxes, so it's not that bad. Obviously you would have had 1 crash pad less, but you have really good mobility. Nice. Okay. Nice. Just able to find one anyways. Okay, nice. I like the one up one as well. So this one you landed a little bit better. It was a little bit higher up.
Yeah.
So this is also going to give you more space to hold people, exactly like those guys. And also you'll be able to use your crash pad effectively. Something that you should do if crash pads stay in the game is before crash padding, look up or look through your cone. Yeah, exactly. This is something that even a lot of pro players still doing kind of trash, but just literally it doesn't even take very much like time. Look through your cone for just a sec to see if there's at least the wall, because that one wall will mess you up mostly. Like this wall. Yeah, this one right here, this brick. There we go. Okay, high up again. So this endgame is a lot more relaxed, although probably this is again kind of a...
There was just going for height, but then this guy, like, again, grenade launcher.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say, you probably don't want to go for height at this stage. Even if there was no grenade launcher, but... You know, in trios it would work well, but in solos you'd probably run out of mats pretty fast. But especially with the grenade launcher, if it stays in the game, usually you don't want to play high, because you're just going to waste all of your mats, basically. Got some air ammo. Let me see. Was there a specific reason you kind of wanted to get in on someone at this time?
no, I was just seeing that he's going to heal up with minis.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Ah.
I knew he was below 150.
Yeah.
So I just figured it.
That's awesome. That's good. So it was kind of like just free.
Yeah.
Something again with the crash pads, kind of. I've seen you do this a lot, where you kind of throw it in front of you. So with the look up a little bit more, so you have your crosshair placement. It's going to be easier to hit him. If you know what I mean, because like if you see,
I know.
yeah. So because now you have to move up every time. I've seen this. So right. I know you know. I just want to show you or chat. So right here, instead of looking down there, look up there. It's also going to make the crash pad a little bit more consistent. It's actually going to just put you into the other corner a bit easier. And your shotgun aim won't be as low. Yeah, so definitely just look at head level when you do the crash pads. Alright, just good confidence. Getting a shot off. It's actually a really good refresh too. Not sure about that. Give me a sec.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah. Something kind of again is when you, before you crash pad, like look around a little bit.
Yeah.
It'll only take a second and it's going to be worth it. Nice. I hate the lag, man, of replay. It's annoying. Alright, so this is actually really nice to get ahead of zone. You might even didn't need to use as many mats when you use a pepper, but you know, I've had opinions being pretty divided among like really good players. I've also heard someone like Chap say, for example, like, oh, you shouldn't build with those peppers, like no one's gonna hit you. And then I've also seen people get lasered when they don't build, so it's, I don't know. Something that you can maybe do with peppers is pay attention to how many mats you have, and based off of that, determine if how much you're going to build. So if you have a lot of mats, then okay, do what you just did. But if you don't have a lot of mats, so if you have like less than 500, then maybe try to play a little bit more risky, maybe. But to be completely honest, I'm not very sure about that. It's just, I've seen both things happen, and I've seen both things work out really well and poorly. So, because I've seen people, especially with peppers, you're so fast. It's really easy to run out of mats fast if you're so, and it's also really easy to get beamed if someone's looking at you, and they have all the time in the world to shoot at you. So it just, I don't know, it's a judgment call. Just think about it. Yeah, it might be a good idea to switch your attention from someone to someone else. So if you are beaming him for a while, and then he's building with metal, maybe try to find someone who's a bit more. It's a bit easier, you know. So this is kind of the first guy you saw. I'd say again, spend like 3 seconds, just look around, and then focus the person you think would be the easiest to kill. For like, let me see. I would kind of want to find someone that would have been probably. I doubt that was the easiest person to kill.
Yeah, I do.
Where is? There it is.
He was low as well. I didn't know that, but he was like way more.
Oh, this is shambles. I don't want to see the battle map. I just want to look around, man. Alright. Actually, it wouldn't have been that easy to find someone because there's not really many people on your layer or like down low that are easy to shoot at. But who knows? Might have been a good time to just pepper.
Yeah.
Peppers last so long.
Same.
I like that you went to your con. Throw in a mouse, it's good. So again, this is kind of the same thing. I feel like when you've popped a pepper and you don't have any more left, and you don't have a lot of materials, you kind of want to make the call, I'm going to use the mobility instead of my mats. What I mean with that is just wait a little bit longer and then run that extra bit, because the earlier you move, the faster you're going to have to stop because zone's already there. So if you only have 300 builds, you don't want to box up too often anymore before actually try-harding for a pick, you know, going low ground, actually. So, and placement-wise, it'd probably be best, I don't really remember when you pop this pepper, but peppers last like, I don't know, 40 seconds or something, 45? So,
That's the thing, like, I didn't really know how much, like, I know they last long, but I didn't know how long.
okay. I'm honestly not that sure either. I think around 45 seconds though, and I think I'm not sure when you popped it. Yeah, I feel like you just popped it.
Yeah.
So in that case, let's say maybe don't pop it yet until zone's a bit closer to you, because then you just get a little more distance with it, because zone's basically already right here.
Yeah.
And then, because basically this right here, you could have done this without the pepper, you know?
Yeah. No waste.
Alright, and this is definitely time to look for a pick. You probably could have killed him right here with just, you know, a bit more piece control.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens. I'm not sure why, either reaction or because you switched your AR instead of your builds trying to catch him. That sometimes happens. I'm not sure if this is the reason for you, but it sometimes happens when you look for a pick and you're kind of low on mats, that you kind of sometimes play as if you're out of mats.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So just shoot here, and then you could have definitely built a wall here, you know? You could have definitely trapped him. You would have been dead. And I know you know how to do that because, you know, you're cracked, so boom. You could have this could have been your wall, like, and then you would have been dead basically. Alright, now we're definitely running low on mats. Oof, that was nice. Good awareness that you knew he was behind. That's nice.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I love that you were able to track him. That's good. Yeah, I think basically two things happened there. Like, number one, after you killed him, you try to pick up mats, then you're like, wait, I didn't really pick up mats, and then you're like, oh crap, I gotta move. So I think that's just about applying a little bit of attention, where if you just make sure you use 1 extra second to make sure you have the extra mats right as you start looting. Just to be safe, especially because, I mean, you have decent white health still, and you definitely do need the mats. So right, because you kind of see the hesitation with in your gameplay. Like, you see right, you kill him, and now you're like, okay, get the mats real quick, and then get in quickly. If you would have spent 1 second more, just literally looking around, grabbing everything, and then got in, because now you're like, oh crap, I didn't get anything. And then you turn around, it's like, no, it's too late. And now you basically spent that same second with the hesitation afterwards. So imagine this way. Either you wouldn't take that second, and then sometimes you get the mats by luck because it just kind of falls on top of you, and sometimes you don't. And so sometimes you don't lose that extra tick because you just, got lucky, got the mats. You didn't need that extra time. But if you want to play consistent, you definitely just need to eat storm and make sure you have the mats, because now it's gonna be rough. I think in general as well, you could take more time. That was unfortunate. They both shot you at the same time.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I don't know. It was stupid for me. I was kind of mad afterwards because if I would have just waited because they were fighting, and they could have waited and got top 3.
Mm-hmm.
This were 4 extra points.
It's all good though. This was a pretty good game. But you see the difference between you landing high up in first moving, like the difference that made, because you were able to rotate so much easier. First of all, there's a lot. The landing low?
No, higher.
Landing higher. Instead of, because wait, let me see where you landed again, because you definitely. Let me see. I was on first moving. So right here. A little bit later. Good job paying attention there, by the way. That's nice. Use the pad. Oh, god damn it, I didn't mean to do that. So... Okay. I think it's also... This time around the... they were already pretty high up, ahead of zone. So you didn't really see a downside of landing high up. Because in the other game, ahead of zone, there was no one. There was basically dead side. So it's just something you have to remember to do also when people haven't built in front of you. So you just land a little bit further back. So imagine, if you remember the other game, there we go. In the other game, there we go. There was no builds yet here. So, and then you still landed low, and you landed like here. And then you kind of got buried because people would build over you, and you wouldn't be able to use extra mobility off of other people. So, yeah, this game isn't as stacked, obviously. Just way less people. It's only 25. Which actually might be also a reason these guys are all tarping, because in stat games, usually first moving, people are still looking for mobility a little bit more, but there's only 25 people alive, so it's still a bit of a different game. Alright. I think that's really good. Yo, what's up, CP? Let's see. Do you think it's going to be worth checking out the other games as well?
Not that much. I think I just made the same mistakes.
It's all similar.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Obviously, we have to check out what next season is going to bring us.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the stuff that we did talk about are going to apply next season as well. So, for example, the landing high on first moving, and spending more time looking for ways to rotate. So the moment someone gets beamed in front of you, that means you can look at that as an opportunity to shoot at him, or you can look at it like, oh, everyone's gonna be looking at him. That means I can move.
Yeah.
So that's just like an example, but I think we did cover a lot today, so that was really good. Was it kind of what you expected? Or does it kind of feel?
I know what I need to improve.
Mhm.
That's like a big issue of mine. I think like I don't like I now have a lot to improve, but I
Mhm.
don't particularly. If I would watch you myself, I wouldn't
Mhm.
see like not at all.
Okay.
Like the thing, like the main thing I think is what I need is to take more time
Mhm.
in general,
Yeah, I think so too.
and that's like the big issue I think, like which kind of get me in situations which are not like pretty good at all.
Yeah, I think if you would spend 5% more time in a cone looking around and thinking about what to do next,
Mm-hmm.
instead of what you're doing now, where you'll be sitting in a box, kind of re-editing walls, looking for people to kill as well. I think you need to learn to have the mindset of a stack game as well as the mindset of an open game. And I think you obviously opens, you know how to do it,
Mm-hmm.
so you just have to continue getting better at that. And I think you know how to do that on your own. I think we'll mainly be talking about stack games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, I can. Have you ever? You're an EU Open, right?
Yeah.
So I'd recommend just doing solo scrims in there, where it's the ladders. I think they're mainly going to be doing trios now, which could also be valuable for you, but because those that don't have zone rules, and especially if you just rank up and stuff, you can get into some pretty stacked games with just a lot of surge and stuff like that without having stupid zone rules, because zone rules will obviously make it a little bit less realistic. So I'd recommend playing the EU Open ladders, and obviously just the in-game tournaments and stuff. So keep playing those. All right.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man, this is awesome. I think we definitely got a lot done, so it's good. Do you have any final maybe questions for me before?
Not something
Not at the moment.
more understood. No.
Okay.
Like I got one question, but it's not about the coaching.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. You can message me or something. It's fine.
Okay,
All right, man. I think we'll talk again after the new season, because then we'll see what tournaments are going to be looking like and stuff like that. And then we're going to be vibing. So, you know, good luck in the Trio Cash Cup. I think you're probably playing it, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Okay. Bye.
Bye, man. You too. All right, that's sweet. All right, chat. I think I'm gonna end stream right here. Do you guys have any more things we should talk about before I dip? Moved house over the last couple of days. Internet not great here, but may have to get back on that exit lag. Maybe. Alright, guys. Oh, see, man, learned a lot from this. Yo, man, this is the first stream ever on my YouTube, and I think I'm gonna do more of these. This is really fun. We might do like Q&A type stuff or more VOD reviews, because this is someone I'm gonna be coaching for quite a while, so we can even like track his progress and stuff. So it's gonna be really fun. I'm gonna be coaching him about once a week, so looking forward to it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna head out. Appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.